I've been having dreams where I'm living in the clouds, searching for a place worth hiding, wherever my mind allows. Most of the time, it's dark and stormy, and I can't see.
Hello there, friends, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Lauren. Welcome. In this video, I wanted to go over my month of April, things that I've been up to. For example, I cut some fringe the other night, and I really have to attribute that to, one, I've been listening to a lot of Kate Bush, and she has a lot of really cute fringe pictures I've been seeing on Pinterest, and also I saw Pride and Prejudice, the 20th anniversary in theaters. I know I'm not alone in saying that it's one of the best movies ever made, and so I, of course, had to go see it. Well, seeing it on the big screen for the first time definitely inspired me to give myself these little Keira Knightley bangs. So these are my Elizabeth Bennet bangs, my Kate Bush bangs, whatever you want to call them, and I'm really liking it. I think it's fun. So that's one thing that I've been up to this month. I also got a new tattoo, and I can show this off later, but it's a little frog in a witch hat, and then also a little nerd frog, and I just think it's really cute. It's healing up nicely. This is actually pretty interesting because it was a poke and stick tattoo at a professional tattoo shop. It's the first time I've ever had that. And so I'm really excited with that, and I can't wait to show it off. I'm joined today by my two little co-hosts. I have 3 cats. My third cat, Ollie, is a little bit shy, so since I've been walking around and talking a lot, she sort of scampered off. But here I have Dewey, who has been in some of my videos before, and then Jelly, my black and white tuxedo cat. They're adorable. Dewey's about 2 years old, and he's a boy. And Jelly and Ollie are about a year old, and they're sisters. I rescued all 3 of them. Something that I'm not sure I've talked about yet on this channel is my love of music. I obviously love music based on the records that are behind me. My boyfriend and I are very active physical media collectors. And by that I mean we have a lot of cassettes and CDs and vinyl, DVDs, Blu-ray, VHS. And so I wanted to show off some of the records I've picked up recently. I think a great way to get into each season is to make a soundtrack or to find music that reflects the season. I try not to buy too many records at one time because I think that it's a very expensive hobby, and I'm also running out of room on my shelf, if I'm being quite honest. But I can't help myself, and so about once a season I do try to find new physical pieces of music. My boyfriend and I collect cassettes, CDs, singles, vinyl of course, and it's just a great way to fill your home with things that bring you joy, as well as listen to any music you want at any time. I think we're all a little bit too comfortable or reliant on online sources, whether that's, HBO Max and streaming services, or listening to music on Spotify or Apple Music. George Harrison is, of course, a member of the Beatles, which is my favorite band of all time. And so this is an album he did for the country of Bangladesh. It was the first ever concert charity event, and there are tons of famous musicians who participated in this. It's just a really wonderful act that he did, and the music is fantastic. He played his solo work, he played Beatles music, he also played other music from the variety of artists that were joining him on stage, and they raised a ton of money. So this is something I've always wanted to own. The next album that I got was Milk and Kisses by the Cocteau Twins. I know that they've sort of blown up in recent years, and I hate to be this person, but I have been loving them for a very, very long time. Shoegaze is probably my favorite genre of music, and I listen to a lot of shoegaze artists, but of course they are the best. Elizabeth Fraser, who is the main singer and songwriter, is just a very glorious human being. She's very ethereal, and I have a crush on her, if I'm being honest. This album makes me think of spring, one, because of the title, Milk and Kisses. I just think that's very cute, and it almost reminds me of Marie Antoinette, the movie, when Marie is, in the woods enjoying her cottage life. But this album also just has a lot of vibes of spring. It's very light, it's airy. Some of Cocteau Twins' music can be very dark, and I love that, but this album in particular is perfect for spring. And even the cover has nice yellow adornments on it. And I would say my favorite from it is Half Gifts. And if you've never listened to it, it's really uplifting. It's about going through something hard, whether it's a breakup or you're losing a friend or just something troubling, and realizing you still have yourself at the end of the day. So it's very uplifting, and I really like this album. Another album that I picked up was Band on the Run. This and Concert for Bangladesh are obviously albums made by past Beatles members. They were also both used copies, which I find really fun. And this is just a really wonderful Paul album. I love Paul. It's very whimsical, like much of his solo work is, and it's perfect for spring, especially with songs like Let Me Roll It and Bluebird. Bluebird especially is just a very gorgeous song. And one day when I was going to work recently, I listened to it over and over again for my entire drive to work, and I didn't get sick of it. So I recommend listening to that song and the album in particular if you haven't. But again, this is just a really famous album. It's wonderful. It's highly regarded for a reason. I thought I had to get it. The last album that I picked up while I was at that record shop was Forever How Long, which is the new Black Country New Road album. This is the alternate version. I think it's even called the indie pressing, and it has a transparent vinyl, which I thought was fun. The normal cover is red and yellow, which is very cute. They just didn't have it at the store. And this is definitely my favorite album so far of the year. I know this is controversial to say because not many people have been liking it. If you don't know, Black Country New Road is this like post-Brexit punk band from England, and they originally had a male singer, and basically, long story short, the male singer was over fame. I don't think the band expected to blow up how they did a couple of years ago, and he was just sick of it. So he's retired and is now like living a private life. He's in his 20s, he's probably my age, and he just didn't want to be famous. So he left the band, and they now have one of the other band members who is a woman singing. So to put it in the most basic of terms, the toxic male fans of the band don't like that there's a female singer. I obviously could not care less, and in fact I like this album best out of all of their albums, maybe because I'm a raging feminist and so I have to. But regardless, this is a really enchanting album. I'm liking it for spring, but I know it's going to hit very hard during winter. Some of the songs that really stand out to me are Salem Sisters. It's a really enchanting song. The Spin is another really good song. Besties. There's a lot of harpsichord and like fiddles. It's very Renaissance-y, if that's a word. But I've really been enjoying this, and yeah, check out this album if you haven't. The cover is a little bit silly, but don't let that deter you. It's really good. And also, I think it's funny, this first sticker says $34.99, but then there's a second sticker that says $32.99. And so I got this for $32. Normally I do not buy brand new records, but as I said, this is my favorite vinyl of the year so far. And so I just knew I had to get it. And so I was willing to pay a little bit for it, but it's gorgeous. I'm going to be going to Salem in a month or so, which I'm just so excited about. And so Salem Sisters spoke to me when that song came out and I heard it for the first time. So I recommend checking it out as well. The last thing that I got at the record store was a CD for $5.99. It's Life's Too Good by the Sugar Cubes, which is Bjork's band. Bjork was a child singer. Then she retired, like went to school, came back with this band, made a few albums, I want to say 2 or 3, and then went solo and has obviously blown up and become Bjork. And so I had to get this, especially for the price. It's a really good CD, and the color matches my fingernail polish, so, you know, what's not to love? I know. These are the albums in my collection that I thought sounded the most spring-like, and also their albums reflected spring colors or spring vibes. So we have The Clouds Taste Metallic by the Flaming Lips, More of the Monkeys, The Gay Parade by Of Montreal, Shame, Song of Praise, which is autographed because I love Shame. I'm probably their biggest fan. It's another post-Brexit punk band, sort of like Black Country New Road. And I went to the concert and I saw that the band was loading up their own van outside because they're kind of smaller. And so I went up to the lead singer all by myself and I introduced myself. We took a picture, we hugged, he was really sweet. We talked for a couple of minutes and then I got him to sign my album. So I love live music and concerts are just really special. I think that's a time and place where magic is real. So I'm excited to have that up there, and every time I've seen that album, it brings me a lot of joy. I have the Shins, Shoots Too Narrow, Tchotchke, their self-titled, which is Tchotchke. This is also an album I got on my recent record store day, but I had to put it up there because of their uniforms, their outfits. I thought it was very spring-like. They sound very Kate Bush meets the Lemon Twigs to me, and the album was actually produced by the Lemon Twigs, which is like a folk brother band. So check them out if you haven't listened to them. Joanna Sternberg, I've Got Me. That's one of my boyfriend's favorite albums of all time. It's a really solid folk album, very sweet. David Bowie, Low, and then AJJ. So those are the albums for my spring record wall. It's a pain in the butt to pick them out, to organize it if I'm being honest, but it is worth it. And so this is something I want to do every season. So I'll make sure to update you guys. April has been a really wonderful month for me so far. I've seen a lot of my friends. One of my friends is engaged to my other best friend's brother. We were all neighbors growing up, and it's something that's like written out of a Disney Channel original movie. But they're engaged, and we actually went wedding dress shopping recently, and she found the dress, and we were all crying, and it's wonderful. I'm going to be a bridesmaid, and I've known this girl since I was 2 years old. I've known everyone in the wedding since I was 2 years old, and I'm just so excited. So that's something precious, memories that I know I will always keep. Something that I have not done this month that I really want to do is start my garden. I have a very small house, and because of that, I have a very small backyard. It doesn't have a fence. It's not the most beautiful, but I'm going to make do with what I have. But where I live in the Midwest has been pretty cold and rainy recently. I've been doing a lot of research, and a lot of botanists say that the perfect time to plant in a normal garden is May 15th or Mother's Day. By that time, no matter where you are, it should be warm enough and the plant should be able to survive. So that is my goal. I have been crafting a lot for my garden, and I was going to show you all the things I've been working on in this video, but then I thought I should save it for a garden dedicated video. But just to give you some ideas, I have gone and found ceramic pieces like gnomes and mushrooms, painted them with outdoor safe paint, and then sealed them with an acrylic sealant, basically like spray paint, that's meant for outdoors so that they can stay and I can create a little fairy garden. I've also painted some wooden signs that I've seen similar things on Pinterest too, and I can't wait to just make my garden in my backyard as beautiful and wonderful as it can be for how small of a space it is. Spring is the perfect time to celebrate being in nature, and so I know I'm not alone when I say I've enjoyed taking more walks recently. Maybe I'm in my Lizzie Bennett era, but I've been walking almost every day after work, and it's just a great way to get outside, to hear the insects buzz, to see all the new flowers blooming, and I've really enjoyed it. So that's something I plan on continuing to do as the spring season rolls along. Some things that you can do to celebrate Beltane that are a little bit witchy would be to have incense in your home so you can cleanse it. So just walk around with an incense stick. It'll bring all the good vibes into your home. Certainly, you can light a white candle or any other Reiki candle and do some sort of like candle spell. You can collect nature pieces from outside, so twigs and sticks and flower petals, and bring them inside and create a little altar or space to reflect on nature with. You can open your windows to let the fresh air in. You can do some cleaning on that day. There's lots of different ways that you can celebrate Beltane and make it perfect for you or May Day. I think I'm going to definitely light some candles and try to clean my space, go on a walk, and connect with nature. I might even take my shoes off and physically ground, because that is really, really wonderful for your mental health, or at least my mental health. And so that's some ways that you can celebrate May Day. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your spring. Bye, friends.